Good afternoon, everybody. So if you go over on TikTok, you'll see that my curbside library slash pantry has arrived. I couldn't wait for my husband. I was so excited, so I put it together myself. He's bringing home the sealant today. I got to thinking about what can I do to, the one that I bought, it was voted the most weatherproof. It got good ratings for an outdoor storage closet. And I'm also going to get a rivet gun and put a lock up there, put locks on them, because I wasn't going to do that at first because I wanted people to just be able to come and take what they needed. But then someone started saying, two people made excellent points. One was critters. I didn't even think about raccoons and the whatnot. My mind didn't even go there. And then the other thing is that you don't want to encourage, someone else said, people coming onto your property at night. So I thought, okay, something to think about. So it didn't have a lock on it. So I'm going to have to get one of those riveter things and then, just put a lock on there, but I'll open it in the morning, definitely before the kids go off to school. And I'll leave it open until like maybe 8 or 9 in the evening. So with that said, we've got boxes that I know I didn't order, so I know that some good people sent some stuff for our pantry and our library. I wonder if it's books. Oh, I know what this is. Oh, this is so great. These are like the cups of the here, let me open them so I can show you. They're like the individual cups for the breakfast cereals. And I figure I won't put these in there in the morning, but I'll put them in there around, because I'm here right around that time, like right after the kids let out from school. That way they can have them in the morning, or whoever just needs them, really. But I was mostly thinking about the kids. Look at these. Aren't these great? And I'll put, depending on how supplies are. Oh, there's more stuff in there. Oh, how supplies, last. Like I said, I'll go slow. I'm not going to overwhelm the box and encourage stuff. I want people to be able to learn to appreciate it and see it for what it is. Books. Yes. Books. Because that's the whole point, right? Books. Kindergarten math. Yes, honey, because these babies need to learn how to count. I'm hearing too many teachers say that these kids are in their classes, they can't read. Someone told me that they encountered a 12-year-old who couldn't read. I mean, I know that's math, but hell, if they can't read, they can't do math. And we need to be encouraging the kids more, because they're not learning enough. They're not learning enough for this world. America is getting tricky and trickier. And so we got to get smarter and smarter and smarter in order to navigate it, or we're all going to be some economic slaves after a while. We're going to be worked to death. I don't mean to go there, but queer cheer. I thought this would be good for kids that identify as a member of the LGBTQIA community, because we are inclusive as fuck over here. Okay? We inclusive over here. Remember that video where I said that sometimes black people, we engage in white supremacy? There are parts of white supremacy that we don't like, obviously, because we're black, but there are a lot of parts of white supremacy that we engage in. Homophobia, transphobia, sexism, misogyny. All of those fall up under the umbrella of white supremacy. You better act like you know that. All of those. Let's see who these gifts are from. I know exactly who this is. Jacqueline Brooks. Girl. Thank you so much, Jackie. Can I call you Jackie? Is that okay? Is that cool? That's so funny. I was just thinking about a Jackie that I went to school with the other day. Her name was Jacqueline. She was the one who wrote that thing in my yearbook I was talking about the other day. Went all through school with her. I love her name, Jacqueline. It sounds so sophisticated. And we got another box. This one smells good. I can smell it all the way from... Oh, no wonder. Because it's nice and clean wipes. I figured that these would be good also for unhoused people and the teenagers on the go and moms with kids at home. That kind of thing. Is there no note here? Is there... Oh, here it is. Because we got to know where all of this is coming from. This is Zakara from your YouTube Talk. So glad you got this up and going. I'm sorry I didn't even think to ask if you needed a walkthrough to set up when I suggested it. I'll blame my own brain fraud and ADHD. Jada Charles. Oh, that was her handle that I said earlier. Her name is Jada Charles. Thank you so much, Jada. I'm in this hot car. Thank you so much, Jada. No air. Thank you so much, Jada. I just thank y'all for getting behind this, and thank y'all for just helping me. And I hope it encourages and inspires and motivates somebody else out there to do it. And wouldn't it be cool if we could just kind of do like a, educational library, curbside libraries across America? That'd be bad. That would be so dope. Particularly in marginalized communities like my Black community. It's just so much that we need. And there's so much I want to give. But with that said, when I start teaching gardening in the spring, I may take you guys with me on that adventure too, because I figure if I can't garden past April because of, my asthma and, this South Carolina heat, I can at least teach, and I can teach people how to grow food because I'm actually really good at it. Both my grandmothers were really good gardeners, and I was surprised at how much I actually absorbed of that, when I got my own house and started doing, gardening on my own property. And it just came back. It was like riding a bike, riding a bike. It's so much that I learned that I wish I could teach my grandma, especially my grandma Mary, because just the concept of raised beds and, go on TikTok and see what I do with those file cabinets and how I made raised beds. That, like I said, I'm big on recycling. If you don't have to send it to the landfill, don't send it to the landfill. Recycle it. One of the reasons why corporate America is what it is and is so greedy is because we keep consuming. We keep buying, and we keep throwing shit away and buying new shit and shit we don't need. And we buy things without even thinking about it. And it keeps the rich richer, and it keeps us poor folks poor because we're not recycling, we're not thinking, we're not being conscientious, and we're not being smart about the shit that we buy. And that's just the truth. That's just the truth. But I would have loved to have taught her about raised bed gardening, because I just remember that old woman hunched over in her garden, barefoot, back pain, trying to feed them old lazy boys that only halfway contributed to her household. But anyway, that's another story. But child, I got the pantry going. I always bring some personal shit into it, don't I? Anyway, y'all gonna hear those little antidotes, so get used to it. We gonna get to know each other up in here. But I am so grateful. I am so thankful Oh, and these would be really good for two. Well, I said the unhouseless because that lady that I passed, I looked to see if she was there today. I always glance, over just to see if she's still there because eventually, honey, them suburban folks, they're not gonna want her there. They're not gonna, I told you they removed the structure because they thought that she would move. She didn't. I thought she would move down to another structure, but she didn't because I guess she got the hint on that. She knows she, treading on thin, ice right there. But they're not gonna want to look at that problem like that every single day while they go get their Starbucks lattes and the whatnot, and their Jimmy John gourmet sandwiches for lunch from their offices and law offices and doctors' offices, because there's a lot of that over there where she is. Big prestigious churches. They're not gonna want to look at that. I guarantee you, there's some people huddled in a room right now trying to figure out how to get rid of her. And I just wish she'd be careful because this is a red state and they're making homelessness illegal and they're locking people up. And that just gives them more free labor. And, it's America. To force people into poverty by making everything so fucking expensive you can't afford it, rent included, and then criminalize it when people can't keep up. That is, when you sit and you really think about that, that is some truly evil shit. It is. And and that's why we got to help each other. We got to spend less and we got to help each other. And we got to be conscious about who we give our money to. Not just black people, but all of us. Poor people, struggling people. I understand that, you have to have some enjoyment in life. I get that. But enjoyment don't always have to cost you $200 every time you walk out the door. It don't. And think about who you're making rich and who you're keeping rich. In the meantime, in between time, I think I was kind of thinking about her when I said I think this would be good because I thought about it. I was like, what happens when she wants to go to the bathroom? I guess she goes across the street over to the Walmart. But even that is like, I don't know. It's a good, I don't know, maybe 150 yards away. Imagine doing that every time you have to urinate or take a number 2. And then last night, like I said, it rained. And so she was all wet and everything this morning. And she was up under that little umbrella contraption. And we need more of these curbside library pantries. We need more books, more education, and we need to help more people that need it. All of us need to do that, All of us need to do our part. Thank you. I know I rambled. I know y'all get tired of me.